then life is one progressive learning. And then you wouldn't have to go through what I did. The pain, the lack of confidence that I'm not good enough, and that what's wrong with me, rather than what could I be grateful for.
Welcome to episode number 13 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. As always, I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of the women who agreed to be here to share with us their wisdom, and I really appreciate your time spent with us here. So every now and then, I will receive messages or calls from some of you who told me that you are inspired by some of these women. I'm so grateful that it is helpful for some of you, and thanks so much for all the feedbacks that you have given me as well. So in today's episode, I am delighted that we have one of my coaching friends, Aileen joining us today on the 100 Successful Women series. I always felt that there are so many to learn from Aileen. She always provides me with different knowledge and inspiration. So I'm pretty sure if you did finish watching this video, you will learn a lot of different knowledge from her as well. So Aileen is a confident coach who also specializes in empowering young people to get out of their comfort zone and speak up for themselves. Aileen has helped many young people as well as adults to gain confidence and live their life to full potential. So I love how Aileen and her husband are both on a mission to help many people in their learning journey. So thanks so much to Aileen once again to be here with us in this series. So let's all hear from Aileen. What is she going to share with us in the videos coming up next?
Good morning. Believe that you're meant for so much more, and believe in the power of now. Some people get stuck because they do not believe that they have the confidence. But if you just believe that you're meant so much more, and you just go from that point, to start taking the one action at a time. Confidence comes from repetitive action. Just get good and get the mastery of that one thing. So what is that one thing that you're good at? Happy, enjoy.
Okay, good morning, Aileen. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Vivian. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you're here. You are definitely on one of my 100 Successful Women list for sure. So I know that it has been a way for you to come on here because you're very busy. I do understand that, but I'm so happy that you're here with us today, Aileen.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very, very honored. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So first question that I would like for you, Aileen, if someone would have to Google who is Aileen Awad, so what will they know about you?
If they have to Google and what is Aileen Awad, well, I think the first thing they will see that is I always have children around me, and I have a group of people, and usually the things that I do would always be with families, with children, and with food. I love family environment. I love creating that environment where people feel part of it. They can, the children are making noise, that's okay, that's one part of them, but we adults still can sit at a table and still have laughter and joy. And every now and then we will think, oh, just checking on the kid. That's who I am really, the kind of person.
I love that. So for those of you listening out there, so me and Aileen is not strangers, I would say. We have known each other virtually because she's in Melbourne, I'm in Sydney for quite some time, and I knew her from the coaching space for a few years. She's someone that always have a big smile. She is always so motivating, and it's always so inspiring whenever I talk to Aileen. So I know that Aileen have a career as a confident coach, and then she had that passion in helping young people especially. So Aileen, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I love to help people to bring up their confidence. But ultimately, from confidence, I love for them to become who they want to be and live a life with fulfillment, with joy. With the young people was something that I had always been doing while I was still at full-time working in my family business. So I've been running that for over 14 years. But as now, so then it comes into how could I help adults to build up their confidence. Like last night, I went to a public speaking, a Toastmaster meeting, and we wanted to start up a club so that we can help people to build their confidence and a place to call home. So that is part of who I am. But in terms, the ultimate for me is people sometimes are stopped from living a life with fulfillment because they feel there's a part of them that they don't have the confidence, so they stop and they hide away. So I love people to be connected with all of them, fulfillment in transitions, so that they can have joy and they never have to doubt themselves that they're not worthy. So that's who I love, helping people.
I love that. It's one of the ultimate goals for everyone is to have that fulfillment in their life. But it is a bit sad that it's something that lost in a lot of people. People probably didn't realize that they can have the fulfillment in their life. And I really love what you're doing as well, Aileen. So I know that you did mention prior, we did mention before in our conversation, you were getting involved in confident coach because of your own children. So what was that inspired you to be in this path?
Well, nobody would know that, that Aileen have no confidence. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I was terrified even in participating in school activities. In school activity, you always have to put up your hand to be noted. And I didn't even have my confidence to put up my hand. I'll put up my hand just here. And then I get through life missing out in school activities, always wishing and longing. And it was not until I see my own little children who was going through the same thing as I did. They wanted to participate in school, but they put up their hand like that. But because I only have 3 children, I have a little bit more time to ask them, which role did you select it from? And it's this look of despair, this look that I'm not good for anything, that look, and I just really crushed my heart. Because it brought me back to when I was their age and that awful feeling of being alone and not good enough. And I said, no, I pull them close to my chest and I make a promise. I'm going to break this pattern. And so it was now like what, 20, 30 years of journey in helping young people and now adults. And now probably even now to help slightly older people as well. So that's my story. Thank you very much for asking.
Oh, so were you at that time decided that you want to be confident for your kids, then you were on this journey yourself first?
Well, they were only in primary school. And if I do not have the confidence, how could I inspire them? I would only be talking about my fear to them. Oh, children, you got to be this, go out and just be strong. I would only be passing on my fear and my anxiety. And I didn't want that. I wanted to say, what if I take the first step first? And that's what I did. I joined a public speaking club I joined, in fact, I joined Toastmasters, and I joined public speaking club. And it was like, you go there, you're terrified, but I kept showing up. So I'm still part of that family for the last, my husband counted 19 years. So I'm always be part of that.
Wow.
And then I continue learning part of that, and I continue learning different kind of training in building myself up. So it starts all with us taking that first step of change. And when we change, the people around us change. So that's what we did. The other story about it was that when my youngest son finished high school, I got him involved in coming to work with young children. And now he told me that he's got involved for over 10 years. Now he's up on stage and he's running training for young people by himself. So that's incredible.
Wow, that's so amazing. And I love that you're being that examples for your children. And there is a saying that I think it's so true. The kids don't actually do what we told them to, but they follow what we do.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very
and
true.
you are that example for your children. And look at how amazing your son now, following your steps.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, I thought I just shared, if we do something, take action, things will change for you. That's always my philosophy anyway.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that story with us, Aileen. So I know that you also, because I saw from your social media, you recently go on, is that a TV for a commercial? How was that experience for you?
Oh, well, I'm like I said, that commercial got to do with cooking, with home appliances. It's got to do with food, something that I love doing. I love doing. And it happened that I also have the same product at home. So they say, would you like to do that? So I'm very familiar with it. And they said, would you like to do that? So my thought was to say, how could I share my experience with people? My cooking of food and for family. That was all. But because I'm quite comfortable with camera, I said, okay. But I thought back to my very first time when somebody said, your company is really doing well. We want to do an interview on women. It's a Women's Day coming. Would you like to do that? I was terrified. And I said, no. And then a week later, I saw all these incredible women on these newspapers page. And I said, and all I did was just shake my head. And I make a promise to myself, if people next time ask me, I'm going to give it a go. So when that opportunity came for the commercial, I said, yes, why not? Why not? You know what I mean? If it's good, they will take it. If it's not, we will just have to do more retake. But after a few takes, we have it. So it's very pleased. Thank you.
I love that. It is so true, right? That was, we just have to put ourselves out there for the opportunities, because the more you put yourself out there, there will be more things coming to you. And then you must be so proud of yourself for saying yes for this commercial. And you did it.
But the person who asked me, he said that, Aileen, I'm going to be your age. Because it turned out to be quite good. I'm going to be your age. And I said, oh, well, all right. You can be my age. So we shall see what will come up in the future. But yeah, I agree with you. Say yes. Say yes and work out how.
I love that quote as well. And I always remind myself to say yes and work out how, even though I don't really know how to do it myself.
Yeah. it really opened up the world, don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we are in the progress of doing it, we then can improve ourselves and find ways to do things as well.
That's right. That's right. And I love just expanding a little bit on that quote. It's so important. If we don't say yes and work it out, use that as a belief or use that as a philosophy, as a stepping stone, we get so trapped in our mind. So trapped in our mind. If I'm good enough, what if I don't know? What if I can't do? What if I look stupid? What if I look and what I feel embarrassed? You never overcome your embarrassment or thinking that you're not good if you never do that. And like I said, my very first experience when I turned down the interview, I always ask all the hundreds of questions later on. But now, after my recent commercial experience, I don't have to ask. I said, well, I give it a go.
Oh, I want to say that it is so amazing for you to do that. I want to big clap for you for saying yes, and you did it. And it's always I always remember one of our mentors was saying that what's the biggest outcome, or what is the biggest thing that can happen if you stand on stage to speak? You won't explode on the spot, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember somebody say that, he said that that's what you think that you're going to explode on stage. But if you were to imagine that those people down below, they wish they have the confidence, the courage, and the opportunity to step out. So imagine that they wishing they have your position and your opportunity. And I always take that into my heart in everything that I do, just like I say yes to your invitation. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know that you're going to provide a lot of value for young people out there. Yeah. So I know that you also a grandmother now. So comparing to being a mom and probably a grandmother as well, is there any struggles that you're having in the journey? What are the struggles?
Struggle as a grandmother? No, well, first of all, there's the maternal instinct that I have as a mom or as a grandmother is still the same.
Still the same.
It's still the same. The love, the joy of seeing a baby and a young kid is just the same. The difference is that there's a lot of the day-to-day things that I now don't have to do anymore. And if the baby is sick and I don't have to go and attend to a sick baby, the mom has to do that. They would never bring the baby to visit grandma if they're sick. So there's no struggle but joy being a grandma. And when I was listening to my daughter, she's saying that, the experience of being a single person versus a mom going on a holiday, she said it is just absolutely beautiful. And recently when I went camping with them,
I did see the photos.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, to have out there playing with my daughter and her daughter. It is such a joy, such beautiful joy. So never think whether to be a mom or to be a grandma, it is a blessing.
It is a blessing, right?
Yes, it is a blessing. Yeah. Cherish that.
Wow. Yeah. So how about while you are raising your own children, you did mention that you are seeing your kids being not confident, and then you decided to make changes for them. Is there any other challenges throughout that motherhood? Because you've been through a lot as well.
Oh my God. That's actually the journey of my personal development. The struggle as a mother. the struggle as a mother. I love children. I always wanted to have children. That was one of my goals as a kid. Wanted to, but it was that I didn't know how to play with my children. Like my children was that I washed them, I clothed them, I fed them, but I didn't know how to play. And that didn't know how to play was one day when we went up to the snow with my sister-in-law and her two boys. And then my sister was there rolling in the snow with her own two boys and my three children. And I stand there and I look, and I was like, it was the pain and the despair that I don't know how to do that. I felt I didn't know how to love them. Not only play, but I didn't know how. And all I know was like I get frustrated and angry with them. And I said, that's not the role of what I wanted to. And from that moment, I started my journey, the search on how to love my children. That was my journey. And it has been the most incredible journey. And at times I felt life has been very kind to me in the sense that I've been given second chance. I didn't do that when they were little, but when it comes to teen, I have a second chance to make it good. And if I didn't do that as good, when they're a little bit older in their 20s, I have another chance. So I'm always so grateful for second chance to do it better. So when you say, if somebody were to know what's Aileen, Aileen is family, children, and food. So I love my motherhood. It has been the journey of my growth and my challenges and my transformations, I would say. Yeah.
So listening to you mentioning about that, so how important it is to have to be on personal development for a mom.
Personal development for a mom, personal development for a person. It do not need to be for mom, it need to be for a person. If you develop yourself, say you finish school, and then you learn, you continue reading and developing yourself and opening up your mind and develop your mindset and challenge yourself. So then when you come to motherhood, you have that area saying that, how could I look at things differently? But if you do not, then you have to wait to motherhood. And then you might go through a journey that you're not good enough. But so it doesn't matter whether you're motherhood, or if you don't do that in motherhood, then maybe when you start up a career lady, or if you don't do that, then you got to wait till you are a business owner. So personal development actually continue even after we leave school, continue. So then life is one progressive learning. And then you wouldn't have to go through what I did. The pain, the lack of confidence that I'm not good enough, and that what's wrong with me, rather than what could I be grateful for. You know, in personal development, we learn, what could we be grateful for? But when we finish school and we don't get what we want, we say, what's wrong? It really pulls a person down. So that's my tips in personal development. Start immediately after you finish your school, or it's a never-ending journey in life.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. It is so important I love that you're saying, because the reason why the reason why I asked why is it important, because you're mentioning about being a mom, and then you realize that it's so beneficial for you to go on the personal development yourself, while you realize that you didn't have that the way that you wanted to be with your kids, then you go on the personal development. And I love that you're actually saying that personal development should be as for every person, even though I think they should start as young as they can,
Yeah.
right? And I feel that it is something that it's a bit sad that it's not taught in the school.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And I actually think that for those of the moms out there who are not involved in personal development yet, it's very important for them to do it, because it's especially important for mom, because that's how we're going to bring for our next generation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For mom, yeah, I totally agree with you. For mom, if you feel that there may be a little bit struggle in your relationship with your children, whether it's in communications or whether in relating to them, and it brings up inadequacy or frustration with you, instead of saying, what's wrong with my family? What's wrong with my children? What's wrong with me? Stop. It is just that motherhood is a totally new pathway. You know, we come from being a student, a single lady, and then being a mother is a new pathway. So anything new, you need new learning. So there's a lot of training out there. If you don't want to go into lots of training, go into small little group training, or if not, I know that, or there's these days, there's so many coaches out there. Have a coach to guide you, even for a short time. Like my husband now, he's 73. He have a coach at 73. He realized that just personal coaching takes him into helping him in his new pathway of retirement. So with mom, with motherhood is a new pathway. Develop yourself, and then this will avoid you saying, what's wrong with my children, or what's wrong with me, and open up a whole new world to growing and living and thriving.
Wow, I love that. Personal development is a never-ending journey, like what you were saying, because your husband is 73 and he's still having a personal coach for himself.
He's a coach, yes.
Wow, I want to give him a big kudos for doing that, because
okay, I'll tell him that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, because Aileen had that experience, because being a mom and seeing you being that examples for your children, and now being the examples for your granddaughter. That's so amazing. And thank you so much for sharing with us, Aileen.
Thank you very, very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I know that you love talking motherhood, and so do I. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I feel that I'm so blessed that I'm on this personal development journey, because that's built me into a better person myself. And like I say, if I wasn't on this personal development, I probably having more issue with the kids, because they're going to be a duplicate version of us. And that's where the that's a tribunal cycle keep going, right?
Yes.
So that's yeah.
Oh, well said. I love that. I love the tribal cycle. Then we just perpetuating the problems. Yes. Yeah. No, love your work. I love what you're doing. Inspiring family.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aileen. So let me see. Yeah, I was saying going to ask is that I did see your recent interview as well. And for those of you out there, probably you wouldn't guess Aileen is 63 years old already from what, if you look from her, and you wouldn't believe that she's 63, right? Yeah, she looks like 30 plus to me. And what's keep you still going on? Because I listened to the interview with you did with Edward. You did say that you've been doing and working most of the time, and you did from that interview you say that you did query yourself, why am I still going at my age? So what's the drive or motivation that you have for you to keep going and doing on a mission to motivate all these people?
What's my mission? Well, I feel that each and every one of us have a gift right in here. That we are so blessed that it has been given to us. And so long as we can continue breathing, I think we should be the most useful and purposeful version of us. And not only will it keep us young, but it also keep us healthy and that we can contribute into the society. And that really inspired me to keep going. And I would never just sit and do nothing. I will always find a way. I always will find a way. I always say, I believe that I can always add value to other people. I believe that I could help people who are stuck, that there is always a way. Together, let's sit down, let's find a way. And you see people who are 83 years old, who are 93, who are 101, they never stop. And their life is, when you look at them, their eyes are sparkling. Even their movements are slow because the spirits in them is growing, they're thriving. So I never see work as hard work. I never see work. I see work as a joy. And I think that motivates me.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that sharing. Yeah, because everyone have a gift, and don't waste the gift that was given to you, and make a difference to the world and be the light to the world.
Yes.
And I always believe that.
Yes.
It's just a number.
Yes. And that's why I said, I just love what you are doing. And I see how you pull people together, like the recent interview that you had with this Olympian lady. I thought, my God, you bring the young, the innocent, the famous, the young and old together, how we can add so much value to, like in your case, to your community. So I just love the work you are doing.
Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful for all these women who say yes to jump on here, because if that wasn't because of you ladies, this wouldn't work as well. And thank you so much for all the ladies who are so humble, for willing to be here, to spend their time with me, spend their time to share the conversation and share your wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. So if you could go back and give your 18 years old self a piece of advice, Aileen, what will that be?
Interesting. If I can go back to that 18-year-old self at that time, was full of adventure. She was full of adventure. She was willing to give it a go. She never stopped. What I would have then add on to her is to say, never stop learning. Don't think that you finish your school years, you put down your book and never have to pick up a book again. I would have said to her, I love your spirit, I love the adventure, but continue to learn and continue to be curious and ask questions. And never think that finish when you close your last unit books or your last BCE book, just continue learning. That's what I would say to her.
Continue learning. The learning journey is never ending. Wow, that's great. Great piece of advice for all the people probably is finishing high school now, right? And
yes, yes.
Oh. Yeah. So who are the most influential people in your life, Aileen?
Probably three people that come to my mind. The most influential will probably be my mom. Because my mom had 12 children and we were very, very poor. We were so poor. And she was very focused. She was very focused in ensuring that we have food, a shelter, and education. Because before that, all her in-laws and her was saying, you're too many children, give them up for adoption. And she would never heard of that. So her focus was to clothe them, educate them, and have a shelter. That's what. And it was like her power was dedication to the family, to survival, but beyond survival was her faith in God, you know. And so that was one of my inspiration, because these days, as I'm in my age, I keep reflecting to how did mom do that? You know, how did mom do that?
I know, it was amazing what she did, right?
I know. So now at my age, I'm reflecting to her journey. And then the second other very influential that inspired me is when I was growing up in Singapore, the Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew. He was the founding father that the country had nothing, and yet he was determined to bring up the citizen that is respectful, that is mindful of the law, that is educated, that is caring, and also strive that we are independent, that we are clean politically, and that I had always instilled that in my mind, and never hold grudges. As a country, never hold grudges. And so that instilled in me in my younger years, well, the country was trying to survive. So, and that is like, work on your independence, work in educating yourself, work in be kind to people. So that is my second most influential person. And the third one is that in recent time, where I have an excellent coach, a lady coach, and it's like the way that she continued to evolve in her own learning, that really inspired me, that here she is, 20 years younger than me, that she's continuing evolving, and I'm learning from a younger lady, a younger coach, and I was like, wow, you never stop learning, and she's so inspiring. Oh, what's a new learning now? So those are my three people that really inspire me.
Wow, they are so powerful, and then love that every one of them have something to guide you, something to inspire many of us as well.
Yes, yeah. And we need to have role models,
That's right.
We need to have role models so that it's almost like a pillar, like a guiding star.
Yeah, I love that guiding star. And I love that your mom with 12 kids, and then I love that she insists to put the food, not only the food, the shelter, but education. It's something that is really powerful that she did, and she's a role model for many women out there.
Yes, she's
yeah. Love that. So is there any challenges that you are facing in your life or in your business nowadays, and how you tackling these challenges?
Is there any challenges? Well, let's put it this way. In life, there's always challenge. There's always challenge. It's how you view challenge, whether you view challenge as a roadblock, or if you're saying that maybe that challenge for me at this moment is not my time, but do not be defeated. And always saying, where is my goal? Where's my vision? I need to be clear about my vision and of the person that I wanted to be. When I retired from my full-time business, I felt that at 60, I wanted to do some more. So I decided to step into the coaching and the mentoring world. But to step up into the coaching and mentoring world, it's a new world to that. I need to learn so much more. And then it was like, it's not that easy. I thought, okay, is that not that easy? Is that a challenge or is that a roadblock?
How old were you at the time?
Oh, this is about 3 years ago. So I was 60.
Oh.
I said, is that a challenge or is that a roadblock? I say, maybe for me is to step out and help a group of people, rather than working on the one-to-one people. So there is, so for me, that challenge is, don't say that's a roadblock. I always look at that. Maybe the time is not quite right. Maybe that's not my pathway. But don't be stopped. Don't be stopped. Make sure that you continue growing, continue living and contributing to other people.
Wow, such a wise words there you have, Aileen. I love this. It is. The perspective is so important, right?
Yes. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on other people. Don't give up. There is so much more in you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your wise word there. And it's so important for people out there because, like you say, there are challenges in life, and there are definitely some people out there who are facing some challenges in their life. And listen to what Aileen is saying. It is the meaning that you give to that things, right? If you see it as roadblocks, probably you are not even trying.
That's it. Yeah. And I like what you say. Sometimes it's the meaning that we gave to it. And if we're going to give meaning that's going to pull us down, you might as well give it a meaning that's going to lift you up.
That's right.
Might as well. Choose powerful, uplifting meanings for your story.
Yeah.
And it is all story.
Yeah. Wow. It's so important that you are sharing with them, because I believe that it's going to be so beneficial for someone who facing some challenges out there now. That's so good. Thank you, Aileen. So what's next for Aileen?
What's next for Aileen? Well, what's next for Aileen? My personal goal is to bring a group of trainers, so that we could do more training programs for schools. That's one of my, which this year I'm going to add 2 new trainers to my group so that we could do more trainings for them. The other area is that to inspire people to saying that cultivate your spiritual part of you. Part of your personal development is about developing and growing your spirit, having faith. When people are having faith, they say that maybe think that having faith in God. But when you have faith, first of all, you're going to have faith in yourself. You're going to have faith in the people around you. You're going to have faith that there is goodness around you. So even just having faith in itself, don't just limit to just that it needs to be God. But it starts with having faith in yourself, then the people, then there's believe there is goodness. That if you have this goodness, it will then motivate you to keep going. And that's one of my big goals, is to help people who have given up and stopped living. They're just existing, to say, have that faith. But if I don't have faith in God, no, don't have to think that's God. Just have faith in it.
Oh, wow, that's inspired me, and that's so important reminder for myself as well. Have faith in yourself. That's so important.
Yeah.
And that's such an important piece of information or advice for people out there, because like you say, people just living by sometime.
Yes. It just exists.
That's right. And it's sad, right, to know that.
That's right. We got so much more.
Wow, I feel like crying listening to what you just say, Aileen. Yeah, it's a bit sad for people to like just to exist. It's really important for them to have that awareness that once they have faith, there's a lot of possibilities in their life.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, I was talking to people, they say, I'm not spiritual, I'm not religious. I say, okay, just start having faith in yourself. Oh, and then if you start having faith in the people around your family that they're meant to do good, and then believe in a little bit greater. That's all that is. Yeah.
Wow, that's so good. I love this piece of information that you just shared there, Aileen. And I love that mission of you going forward. And I'm looking forward to hear more about that probably in our next conversation coming up.
Thank you. Anytime. Love to chat with you. Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm so mindful of the time. I know that you spent nearly an hour with us. So before we wrap our conversation today, Aileen, what is your last piece of advice for all the women out there, especially those with children or those without children, the older women overall? What's your advice for them?
For people out there, for women out there, for moms out there, that we are here for a purpose. That it is a gift that if we have partners or we have children, it is a gift. And even if you don't know, even at times you struggle, just believe that what you want to give to people is the best version of you, your love, your kindness, your care. Just believe in that's what you want to do. And then from there, it will start to grow and it will start to develop. And before you know, everything you come from that mindset with love, with kindness, with care, you'll get there. One step at a time.
Love, kindness, and care. Yeah, these three words is very important.
Yes. Just in every step you do, you have that in your heart. One step, one step, one step.
One step at a time. Love that. Thank you so much for your advice for all the women out there. And I think it is so much golden nuggets that Aileen just shared with us and so much wisdom. Thank you so much once again, Aileen, for your time. So before we end the conversation, is there anything that you would like me to ask that I didn't ask yet?
Well, if they want to know more about how to reach out to people, you can always reach out through to you, or you can find me on Facebook. But first of all, thank you, Vivian. Anytime, we'd love to have another chat with you.
Thank you so much. So I'm definitely going to put Aileen's social media in the description later. If you have any questions that want to know, maybe in regards to how to become more confident for yourself or your children, maybe can reach out for Aileen as well. I'm going to put her contact within the description. And then thanks again for your time, Aileen, with us. And I'm looking forward for our future conversation.
Thank you. Thanks